Hey guys, what's up? This is White Boy for the win, and welcome back to Why Mega Evolve. Now, earlier this week we talked about Mega Umbreon, and today we're going to be talking about Mega Leafeon. But before we get started, let me just give you guys a brief explanation what this series is about. Now, every week we'll be picking two Pokemon we either need a Mega Evolution, deserve a Mega Evolution, or want a Mega Evolution forward. Now, this is based off my opinion alone, and no one else's. Now, if you guys do not like my opinion, then please post your own opinions in the comment section down below about what would you keep, what would you change, and etc. And at the end of every video, we'll be telling you guys which Pokemon we're going to be talking about the following day. So with that said, here is Mega Leafeon. Now, I don't know about you guys, but for me, Leafeon is one of the best evolution designs, period, because when Leafeon was introduced in 4th gen, with Glaceon being new evolutions, I fell in love with Leafeon's design because from its ears to its tail, I mean, it may be the small things that make you like a Pokemon, but for me, that's what made Leafeon for me, because I wasn't expecting to be getting a grass evolution whatsoever, and looking at its design, I fell in love with it just because the amount of detail they did with its design, from like I said, from its ears to its tail, which made me love Leafeon. Now, Leafeon and also Flareon are the two evolutions that are pretty much made for being a physical type attacker because they have really sky high physical attack. So that's the one thing I also like about Leafeon, is because there's two evolutions that are only physical, and those Flareon and Leafeon, and I personally like Leafeon more than Flareon, and for part of the reason was because of design, and the last part of the reason is because Leafeon has a better move pool. So that's part of the reason why I really like Leafeon. But nonetheless, like I've always been saying, if Game Freak decides to give another evolution, for an example like Jolteon and a Mega Evolution, it's just going to be a matter of time until all the evolutions get a Mega Evolution. So out of all of them, I said this for pretty much a couple of the evolutions, but I really hope all of them do get a Mega Evolution, even though some of them don't really need it. But honestly, Leafeon does kind of need it. I mean, granted, it does get Chlorophyll as a regular ability, without the Mega Evolution, to make it really, really fast. But I still think it kind of needs a Mega Evolution just to bump up its stats a little bit and to make it a little bit more bulkier, a little bit more faster, and also a lot more offensively. So as you can tell from what I've done to its stats, I did increase everything but left its special attack alone. I left its special attack alone considering that it's morely so a physical attacker, and that's the one thing I really like about Leafeon, is just that it's a physical attacker. And so I decided just to leave it alone because there's a lot of other stats that needs to be increased for Leafeon, and decreasing its special attack and adding more points to it would kind of not be a waste, but at the same time I don't want to really overpower Leafeon being the best evolution out there. So I kind of wanted to make it fair, so I just left it alone as base 60. So for its physical attack, I increased it from base 110 to base 130. Now, granted, its physical attack is at base 110, which is a very high attack stat if I do say so myself. So I wanted to increase it to base 130, even though it's not that high of an increase. At base 130, it's still going to be putting in the work. I believe it does get access to Swords Dance, so that's another form of stat increase move you can put on Leafeon. You can run, for instance, Swords Dance, Leaf Blade, I don't know, Seed Bomb, Iron Tail, and Double Edger, for an example, that you could run for Leafeon sets. So being at base 130, like I said, it's still going to be putting in a lot of work. Now, for its physical defense, I increased it from base 130 to base 150. Now, like I said, some of the evolutions do have some sort of the same base stat, and for Jolteon and Espeon, they have pretty much the same special attack stat and speed stat, but they're pretty much flipped for each other. But for this instance, Leafeon has base 110 physical attack and base 130 physical defense. Now, surprisingly, I kind of thought that, or I think that what Game Freak should have done is that if they're going to make Leafeon a physical defensive bulky Pokemon, they should have just flipped it, flip its physical defense with its physical attack, making Leafeon's actually base stat base 130 and its physical defense base 110. That's just how I see it. But either way, base 130 to base 150 being a very, very high defensive stat can be really, really good when it comes to competitive play, because Talonflame is still a thing, and there's a lot of really good physical type attacking Pokemon that are super effective against Leafeon that can deal really massive amount of damage to it. But with base 150 physical defense, you can actually run a physical defensive variant of a Leafeon and make this like a support Pokemon of sorts, because like all evolutions, they all get access to Wish, Toxic. I'm missing a couple moves. I know that for a fact that I can't remember off the top of my head. So you can run that like type of physical variant if you want to, because its physical defense stat is just so damn high, and I can guarantee you that it's going to be able to live hits. Now for its special defense, I increased it from base 65 to base 90. Its special defense is technically its lowest stat when it comes to defenses, because at base 65 there's going to be literally no way a Leafeon is going to be able to live like a flamethrower, nonetheless like a fire spin from like any Pokemon whatsoever, because it's just so damn low. So I wanted to increase it to base 90, that way it has a little bit more bulk to it than it was at base 65, because at base 90 it's still very bulky. At base 90 it's not going to be able to take special hits all that well that are super effective against it, but nonetheless base 90 is still very bulky to some aspects. Sorry about that. Now for its speed, I increased it from base 95 to base 120. Now the reason why I increased its speed was pretty much just because before Mega Evolving Leafeon does get access to Chlorophyll, and when it comes to access to Chlorophyll and you have the sun up, your speed's technically doubled, and I got rid of its Chlorophyll ability, obviously, which I'll get to in a sec. So I wanted to make it a fast Pokemon as well, and made it to base 120, because it's going to be very, very fast, even at base 95. But with the base 120 speed stat, it's just going to be through the roof of being a very, very fast Pokemon. So when it comes down to Leafeon, Leafeon's a physical attacker, a defensive Mon, and a very speedy Pokemon if its stats are going to end up like this as a Mega Evolution. Now, as a regular Leafeon, its base stats at 525, and with the Mega Evolution, it's going to be at 625. Now, like I said, for pretty much all the evolutions, all the evolutions have the same base stat, so there's going to be nothing different when it comes to the evolutions. Now for its ability, I said this in every single evolution, Mega Evolution video I've done, is that I wanted the evolutions to have something in common, and the best thing that came to mind was their ability. So I decided to actually have their abilities something in common, and that is pretty much kind of like Pixelate, and I gave it a new ability called Photosynthesis. I really couldn't think of like a grass like theme ability name besides Photosynthesis when it came to Leafeon, because it is a grass type. But what Photosynthesis pretty much does is it turns normal type moves into grass type moves. So that's what I meant about having all the evolutions having something in common. I wanted them to have their abilities somewhat in common to their corresponding type. Like for instance, Sylveon gets access to Pixelate, and what Pixelate does, it turns normal type moves into fairy type moves, and Sylveon's a fairy type. And that's what it kind of gave me the idea of actually having the evolutions something in common with each other, is that whatever evolution we're talking about, or just like an evolution in general, their ability is going to be corresponding to their typing and turning their normal type moves into their corresponding types. So for instance, for Leafeon, it's going to turn normal type moves into grass type moves. Now the one thing that's going to be making that kind of ability amazing is that Leafeon, or should I say all the evolutions, get access to Double Edge. Now the way they get access to Double Edge, if I'm not mistaken, is before evolving Eevee. Eevee learns Double Edge, I believe is his second to last move or its last move, and then you can evolve it, and then you're going to be getting Double Edge. So that's another way of, or that's another like physical type attack you can run on Leafeon that's going to be its strongest technically stab powered move. And also if you're going to be running like a special base evolution, like for instance Sylveon, all the evolutions get access to Hyper Voice, and that's pretty much why I kind of wanted to have their abilities the same, is because Hyper Voice is a normal type move, and when it comes to normal type moves to like the evolutions that I did, their corresponding types, that's what their ability is going to be. It's going to be turning normal type moves into their corresponding types. So if you want to go physical, you can, like Leafeon, it's going to turn normal type moves into grass type moves. If you want to go special, like I said, it's going to turn the corresponding type, whatever evolution you're going to use, to that corresponding type the move is going to turn into towards the evolution typing you're using. It's kind of complicated what I said, but it makes sense in the long run. But that's what I really would like to see what Leafeon, or what all the evolutions I would like to see them turn into. Now for its typing, I left it alone as grass, like I said in a couple of my Mega Evolution videos. I wanted to leave their typing the same, because there's no reason for me to either add on a typing or pretty much add on a typing. I don't know what I was saying, but leaving it as grass type is perfect, I would say. But regardless, anyways, there is Mega Leafeon. So anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, I'm sorry if I kind of stuttered throughout the video. It's been about a couple days since I recorded a Y Mega Evolve video, so I do apologize. So like I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, I've been neglecting to tell you guys, but if you guys missed the previous Y Mega Evolve video, it is going to be in the description box down below. It's in every single video. The previous video is going to be in the description box for all my Y Mega Evolve videos, and pretty much for all my series that I do on my channel. So like I was saying, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button. Also, don't forget to comment and subscribe. Now, next week we're going to be talking about the final evolution in Sinnoh, and that's going to be Glaceon. So yes, we're going to be talking about Glaceon, so stay tuned for that. So this is White Boy for the win, and I'll catch you guys later.